Now, the other focus on the show today, a recent preliminary study in the UK has found that COVID-19, even if mild or moderate, is possibly leaving people with significant impact on their brains. The study involved pre- and post-infection brain scans involving close to 800 people. Now, the scans showed loss of grey matter indicative of damage, and the areas affected involving functions relating to smell and taste, cognition and memory formation. Most of the patients examined had mild to moderate disease. While it has not been peer-reviewed yet, the study has been printed, but it's not been peer-reviewed. It's still very concerning to know about, the impact that COVID is having on the brain, since we already know that one of the known post-COVID symptoms is something that we describe as brain fog. Well, let's go across now to Dr. Sonia Lal Gupta, Director, Metro Group of Hospitals and Neurologists, for more on this. And Doctor, while this is, one such study that has and it's not been peer reviewed yet, still it is very concerning, because we do know that a lot of patients are complaining of brain fog post-COVID, some even concerned about their memory.
Absolutely, Gargi, and the biggest concern about this study is that this is actually one of the first type of studies which they've actually looked at people before the infection and then after the infection. So approximately out of the 800 people they looked at, approximately around 400 actually got the virus, and so then they did the scans again to look at it post the infection, what the brain showed. And as you mentioned, what they found was that even in mild to moderate cases, so people who were not hospitalized, previously studies have looked at people who were hospitalized. So in this study, they looked at people who were not hospitalized, and what they found was that there was loss of gray matter. So gray matter is a type of, so our brain is white matter and gray matter. Gray matter basically processes the information. So particularly in those parts of the brain that were related with taste and smell, more so, they saw that the cells had shrunk in size. Also areas related with memory as well as with emotions. So they did find that, but more so it was focused on finding it in these areas of taste and smell. And what came about this was that maybe over time we can compensate for those changes that are happening, but the shrinkage still might last forever. So that is where the concern is. How long? Because once the brain is damaged, as we know, we do not have currently anything that can help the brain regenerate. Whatever the brain regenerates, it does by itself very slowly and steadily over time. So there isn't really a medication or a magic potion to actually regenerate it. So I think this is kind of raising alarm bells. Yes, it's a very small study. But at the same time, I think what people have to understand, and exactly just before this Dr. Eric Ding, what he was telling about how now contagious, the Delta variant is becoming, people have to understand they have to take precautions and they have to get vaccinated because that's the only way. It's not only about those 14 days of infection, it's the long-term effect of COVID that is also really concerning, especially in the younger people. We do not know how much it will affect their memory in terms of years to come, and also emotions, irritability and everything else.
Right, and we need more such studies to tell us. But doctor, this is not the only disease that has affected the brain, isn't it? There have been, there are still other infections that also affect the brain. So just to, tell our viewers about that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So there are a lot of viral infections, We've had the Zika virus, we know for a fact that, affects the brain. That was causing, in babies who were not born yet, shrink, small sized brains. Then we have, of course, the herpes virus. We know for a fact that that actually causes something called herpes encephalitis, where there's swelling over the brain. So there are a lot of infections actually related with viruses that do affect the brain. So I do not want people to get scared. Oh my God, I have these symptoms, now what's going to happen to me? The good part is most of the symptoms are mild. Yes, they might be a little long term, but they're mild. So with other infections, actually the symptoms are more severe. In this, we're not seeing it actively when people are having the COVID infection, that they're having a lot of neurological symptoms, but it is more so after the infection is gone, we're seeing some subtle changes. So it's more about the quality of life that will get affected, more so than, it causing any long-term effects so far from what we have in the data. So I think people shouldn't get super scared also, but they should only understand that they have to just take precautions and avoid getting the infection. I think now that India is opening up again, we all are scared about the third wave coming forward and what's going to happen. So I think just a message again, for people to just please take precautions, wear double mask, wash your hands, social distancing, And
Absolutely.
and vaccine. Let's
Absolutely. Just get vaccinated to protect yourself, because you don't know the long-term impacts of this disease. Thank you so much, Dr. Sonia, for joining us on the show
Sure.
today.
Absolutely. Sure.